Hey everybody, welcome back. HSC Podcast. Big Buck Steve on the mic, Big Smooth. Of course, we're in the Raiders gear again because it is NFL draft, and that's what we're talking tonight for the sports segment. We will hit a little bit of playoffs here after we talk draft, but obviously with the draft right around the corner now, we got to get our predictions in. It's not predictions like say we're doing, March Madness and stuff we do with our weekly game picks for NFL, but we want to talk about the picks and see how far we can get down, the first rounds, see what you guys think and how close we are on the picks, right?
Well, and then it's always going to be we're not doing any trades, so who knows how.
Yeah, that's the problem is so a lot of people hopefully, that are into the draft and are listening, a lot of people do mock drafts, right? It's kind of not as intense as again March Madness brackets, but there's tons of people out there posting their mock drafts on social media, talking about it. Lots of shorts and videos that you're going to see around mock drafts. The downfall there is the trades, right? Because if you don't put trades in there, that might throw off the whole thing.
Well, and then it is kind of like March Madness. If you all of a sudden put too many trades in, like you put any too many upsets in, then it really screws up your.
Right. And then you get all out of whack because nobody's drafted in the right order at that point, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many mock drafts do you do pre NFL draft?
Well, with the Raiders, I would do their 7 round and just pick as them. And it doesn't take very much time at all. And I'll just be like, yeah, let's see. Because I want to, it's good to know like the names and like who is going to be around in this round, do you think?
Yeah.
And so then for this, I did a few mocks of the every team to see if I'm going to be right on each time or if I change. And I had some differences, but
And then when you start looking at, a mock draft versus, what you're doing, what you might see on different websites or social media, how close are your drafts? And I'll talk about mine, to what you might see on like from Mel Kiper or from all the other ones, like want to call them experts or just maybe, like you said, Bleacher Report, different websites like that. How close do you see your drafts to theirs?
oh, it's not, I don't think anyone's is ever close. I don't really think. And then for like the Mel Kipers and stuff, for them, I don't think it's about the first round. It's about the later rounds. Because I like to listen to them like in round three, and then they'll be like, "Here's this guy," and then Mel Kiper will be like, "Well, this is bubble," and I just it's hard because a lot of these are okay. Who do these teams like the best,
Right.
right? Like for instance, we'll get into the Jets. They're going to probably take an edge at two. Which edge do they like the best?
Yeah, and that's the question is when you start trying to predict drafts, is it's hard to be in the head of, the scouts and the front office specifically when they're evaluating trades, they're evaluating players, and then you got to think about long term with your early round picks too.
Right. Like for like the Raiders. Last year, I think we talked and we were pretty confident that Gentry was going to be a Raider. Year before that, it was Bowers. And we didn't have that. I wanted that, but I was like, there's no way they're going to take a tight end there. Plus, we didn't think Penix would go in the top 10.
Yeah. Well, that one really threw a lot of people off when you really look back at that draft.
Right.
So this draft is interesting. So just overall with this draft, what's the talent level? How deep is it? What's it weighted like?
I think there's it's not very many elite players. There's a lot of good players. Um, I think you're looking at like 10 to 12, 10 to like 15 first round talents. And then everything from like 16 to like 50 are like second round talents.
Interesting. So is it in people's best interest to go all up or nothing, or just get more draft capital?
Well, that's why it's going to be interesting. So a team that trades back, they're not going to look at like the trade back as equal. You know what I mean? They're going to look at it and be like, no, this is still lesser. I need more. So I'm wondering if you're going to see more 2027 picks sprinkled in if teams are trying to move up.
Right, right. Because your thinking is if they're not getting in the top 10, they're getting more value over for 2027 picks if they can and make that trade where somebody needs to move up.
Right. Well, because I'm looking at the Jets, the Cardinals, the Browns. I think they're all looking at quarterbacks next year,
Right.
right? So if they could trade back and pick up extra capital next year, then it'll be easier to trade up if they don't have like the number one, you know what I mean, pick
Mhm.
to get a quarterback.
So, are there any of these teams that you're looking at as we see this year's draft that want to trade out of the top 10?
I would think the Cardinals
Yeah, I looked at that too as a potential.
because I'm looking at it and looking at the edge is probably what that will go there at three. Some people are saying that they'll take Jeremiah Love, which is crazy to me. Um,
That's
but
funny.
if I was the Cardinals in a team like the Cowboys, who have 12 and 20, they want to replace Micah Parsons. They can get like a David Bailey or Arvell Reese, right? I mean, doesn't Arvell Reese remind you of Micah Parsons?
Yeah, a lot. There, that's it's also tough to not put him, as the top talent in the draft for me.
So, but I could see the Cardinals either trading back to 12 and 20 or trading to 12 and then a 2027 first.
Yeah, it's funny because I ran a AI mock draft for us to also compare to as we're doing this. And AI had Jeremiah Love going to the Cardinals. That's interesting.
Well, but considering I know Connor coming off injury, but they have Connor, they signed Algier.
All right.
It's like, do you really need another running back when you have nothing?
No, no, yeah, if anybody needs draft capital, it's the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But they do need a running back at the same point, because I guess you can keep relying on Connor, but he hasn't been as consistent as you'd like. He's getting older.
Yeah, but Algier's not old.
No, but he's also not proven. I mean, he's a nice backup. Don't get me wrong. He's done good stuff as a backup and he's earned a chance. But Jeremiah Love's the only, like, we talked about earlier, probably the only running back that anybody's going to reach for.
Right.
So that's interesting because Cardinals were on my trade radar too, but we're going to kind of have to go without trades in this as we talk through these. So what we're looking at, NFL draft first round, and of course, number one pick. I'll let you take it. I doubt we have different number one picks here, so lead us off.
We got Fernando Mendoza going number one. I mean, to be honest though, gosh, you have to like for the if since it's the Raiders, you gotta take Mendoza. But at the same time, Man, what kind of haul could you get for that pick?
If you look at the teams that need quarterbacks right now, they you probably could get something.
Yeah. But the Raiders haven't had, I mean, a f they haven't had a first round quarterback since Jamarcus Russell. And we know how that went, but they really haven't. It's like, but think about that.
Yeah.
Since the time of Jim Plunkett, they've been searching and searching and they found Rich Gannon, but then they was searching some, it's like they're not the Bears, but it's taken a long time to find good
I mean,
quarterbacks.
it ain't much better.
Yeah, I mean, you do have,
I mean, you had your car, we had our Cutler, I mean,
yeah,
you
but
had
aren't
Gannon.
aren't you going to say though, if you would have been ecstatic if the Bears had Carr?
I mean, is he better than Cutler was?
Yeah,
I mean, statistically, they're probably pretty close.
right. But I don't think Carr had as many interceptions as Keller.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look at the statistics,
Right.
but I wouldn't be jumping through, hoops for Carr over Cutler personally. But I think Rich Gannon is probably the only person for the Raiders just because he fell into a good situation with veteran leadership and, was able to win. But Rex Grossman got into an ideal situation and took the Bears to a Super Bowl, so it happens.
Although Rich Gannon was an MVP.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't like he was carried by their defense.
No, that's all they had. But again, it was a situational thing, right? So he was happened to be in the situation. Rich Gannon got in a situation. I don't think the Bears or the Raiders have put quarterbacks in situations to win very often in the last 50 years. I mean, it's been a while, for both.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It'll be good, getting this Mendoza pick. So now you got your future quarterback. Bears got their future quarterback, and we don't have to talk about this for a while, hopefully.
Right. Hopefully.
They both could flop still. It's early. Well, I think Mendoza's the obvious pick, right? So
Yeah.
I think even AI has Mendoza.
I think everyone is like, okay, let's start with number two.
Yeah. Yeah. Feels a lot like Caleb Williams and a couple other previous times, but I don't think for me, and so I'll start with number two because I don't really have anything to add to Mendoza. I still think Reese has to go here just because he's the most talented guy, I think, in the draft. And I think you'd be crazy not to draft him. So I think the Jets have to take Reese here.
Well,
So
I'll go with Reese, but I had Bailey just because he's safe.
interesting. So you
And
you took David Bailey
well,
here.
because he is the pass rusher. Arvell Reese is the talented jack of all trades, but he never has really become the full pass rusher. And I think Aaron Glenn is probably looking at, well, I need to get someone in here that is gonna be good. Not, it's like the ceiling is so much higher for Reese,
Right.
but you know Bailey's gonna be good. So that's kind of where I thought Bailey would be the pick, just because what the defense for the Jets wasn't that great last year, and Aaron Glenn's supposed to be good at defense, and he took over play calling this year. So I'm like, he's like under the gun to be like, oh, I better get this defense in order.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
not mad at
I
Reese, so we
I
can go Reese.
yeah. I could see the argument for Bailey that you're making. If it wasn't the Jets, I think it'd be more impactful to them to have someone coming in and making plays that are in addition to like a set defense. But they just need talent. They just need to start
Yeah.
from scratch, right? And you got to go with the best available in talent wise. Bailey will probably make more impact early. So you're definitely onto something there. All right, so we got Mendoza, Reese. Number three pick. This is the one we're talking about, the Cardinals possible trade, but also everybody is all over the board on who they're taking here.
Right.
And then, so maybe that does tell you something about a trade, right? If
Yeah, I mean, I I put I put Reese, but I'll put Bailey there just because it's just get your
right,
pass rusher. Start there. Start with your trenches.
especially a player like that, right? A guy who can be dominant quickly, make that transition quickly for you. So that is a good pick. I mean, honestly, I have Bailey there too. We're just flip flopped on theirs. However, I do kind of have a real kind of left field thought here for the Cardinals if they don't trade, which would be to go offensive line.
Yeah. Well, that's why I kind of feel like they would trade. That way, they're gonna if they went down to like 12, they'd still get one of the top tackles.
Right. Yeah, if they can't get a deal they like, then you're talking about the Miami guy, right?
Moa.
Yeah.
But he's only a right tackle.
It's always a worry for college tackles. They're not as malleable side to side.
Right. I feel like if they could trade down, I would see that, but I don't know if I would take them at. I mean, it would be the Cardinals, so it wouldn't surprise me if they took them at 3.
So if you can't get a trade down, you want offensive line. Can't get a trade down, you have to take Bailey. Or apparently AI thinks Jeremiah Love.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
not.
mean, I'm go ahead.
Well, if I'm the Cardinals, I don't want to reach because it's not like you're going to be good. So you just have to accumulate good players.
Yeah. So we're pretty solid there with David Bailey.
Yeah.
So we got Reese and Bailey now off the board. And then four becomes an interesting pick because I would think that Tennessee might want to go up one spot to get Bailey. So what is Tennessee going to do here?
This one is the one that's tricky because you got Robert Saleh there. So do they go Jeremiah Love
Right.
because you give Cam Ward a weapon? Or do you go Sonny Styles? Like the
Well, that's
amazing,
interesting.
crazy linebacker, like insane linebacker to run your defense.
I mean, I like that pick for them. Let's see what AI says. AI says Jeremiah Love. No, no, that's sorry. That's the ESPN mock draft. AI
Oh,
had him already gone. No, AI's got David Bailey there
oh.
because they took Jeremiah Love at three. Man, I don't know what AI is doing. So you think Jeremiah Love's an option here,
I would think if you want to help out Cam Ward.
right? Yeah, I mean, I have Jeremiah Love here as well. So I they don't have the greatest talent in the backfield right now. You want to get somebody in there, like you said, to take a little bit of pressure off Cam Moore. It's not going to happen season one, but they're both young enough with the franchise. If they can start together and grow together, year two, year three, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a terrible pick for them. What else could they take here? And so Sonny Styles, you mentioned, what's the possibility of that, even if Love's available?
I think it's a good possibility because think about it. Sonny Styles would be like your what was his name? with the Niners. You're here, Fred Warner, right? Because Sala was the defensive coordinator for the Niners. He'd be your leader of your defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you need that. And he's ultra. I mean, like everyone talks about Reese. I think Styles is the most talented.
He's probably the most game ready, right?
Yeah.
So that I mean, and she's Ohio State. It's right. It's crazy. Okay, so how confident are we in Jeremiah Love here? I mean, yeah, Jeremiah Love.
It's for me, I just wonder, so because it's Sala. So is Sala gonna be like, no, I gotta get the defense better for Cam Ward? Or is Dayball gonna be like, hey, let's get this talented running back to help out Cam Ward?
I don't know. I like the Sonny Styles pick for them because it does give you a young leader on defense too. So now you got your young leader on offense, you got your young leader on defense. And Sala is a defensive guy, like you said. Probably would love to have that middle linebacker captain he can mold.
Right? But people like they need to learn from mistakes of having defensive head coaches not taking care of young quarterbacks.
Yeah. So maybe they go O line.
Yeah.
They could take I mean it would be real still early, but they could take the Miami kid,
Yeah.
Francis.
Oh,
Yeah, I call him Maui Go or something like that. He's literally got Maui in his name.
yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to do? What are we gonna pick?
I think Love, but
Okay. I mean, that's who I picked on my mock. So you got on your mock as well.
yeah.
We got to go with it. All right, number five. I like starting with what AI has. Okay, New York Giants. This is where they have Maui Goa
Oh.
to the Giants. Uh, what do you got?
I got Sonny Styles.
Yeah, dang, so do I.
It's the Giants. I mean, they need a defense, right?
Absolutely. Like, and he's just what they need.
I mean, you got the edge rushers. Um, I know you lost Lawrence in the middle, but this way you fill the middle linebacker position. But you still have, gosh, what's they got three edge rushers, don't they?
Well, they got Thibodeau and
Didn't
yeah,
they
they
get
do. The
the guy
guy
from
from
Carolina last year?
well, Andre Carter, right? Or no, not Andre Carter. The guy from Penn State,
Yeah, Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. There was an
And
Andre
then,
Carter though. He played defensive line,
yeah, went to Florida.
right?
Um, and then they got it wasn't who was the edge from Carolina that they got last year?
Oh, Burns, but he's more been playing a lot outside though, like just
Right, but
outside
he's an
linebacker.
edge. He's a pass rusher though.
Yeah, no, they move him a lot, so
Yeah.
he's kind of just a floater, really.
hmm So you got those guys, so why not put the captain there in the middle?
Man, that's a lot though. It's a lot of linebackers, a lot of edges.
Well, no, because Styles is a middle linebacker.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not saying that he doesn't fit in. I'm just saying, would they look at other deficiencies before linebackers and edges idea,
Well, they
just
got
in
two picks in
general?
the top 10.
Yeah, so they got to look at what are they going to get at 10. I mean, just as an outside chance, what are the chances that they would take like Carnell Tate here?
I could see Carnell Tate, but I think the difference between Sonny Styles and the next linebacker is continents compared to Carnell Tate to either Tyson or Lemon,
Lemon.
right?
Oh yeah, I mean that's a great argument right there. So you got to take Sonny Styles. I mean, this is why I think Tennessee might take him.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say Sonny Styles because he's on both of our mock draft. But wouldn't that be interesting if Tennessee took him? Then what would New York do?
I think they take Love.
Would they take Love? You think so?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because again, Scadaboo's always going to be in concussion protocol for life.
Yeah, and he's not. I mean, we don't know. I guess he showed flashes of good things, but I don't know that he's going to be their lead running back for a long period of time, and he might die. So, all right, number six, Cleveland.
This is where I have Tate.
Yeah, I think the whole world has Tate here because that's just what they need, right? I don't actually see a different pick that I would.
What does AI have?
Let's look. Well, I have Tate as well, and even AI has Tate, so it's a consensus. Is this the one we're gonna get wrong?
Well, maybe if they like Lemon or Tyson better, right?
Well, that's what's interesting about the draft. We talked about this at the beginning, is we don't really know, and we were talking about the difference between like Tate and Lemon and Tyson and the impacts they might make um, coming into the league early, right? So yeah, how do we know that their front office isn't saying, "Man, we really need a receiver," and what kind of Lemon's the one we want?
Right. Now, to be fair though, Colonel Tate went to Ohio State, so it's perfect for Cleveland
Yeah, I know.
because he's played in that weather
Yeah.
where the other two are in sunny states.
No, I don't see them taking anybody but him. So let's move down to the Commanders because this is an interesting pick. Well, let's start with AI. What's AI got? They have Delane from LSU, cornerback.
Okay.
And what do you got here?
Well, I got Caleb Downs
That's interesting.
because he's the most, I think, ready defensive player.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was back and forth with Delane and Downs between the positions I have them in right now. And I ended up with Delane just because I think he's going to be a solid cornerback. I think people are looking for is someone who might not be as good as some of the top cornerbacks in the league, but someone that can be a really strong number two. And so that's kind of my thinking for the Commanders there to come in for Delane. But Caleb Downs is probably obviously the best, in my opinion, secondary in the draft.
Well, I also thought about either Lemon or Tyson here.
So what's the argument for receiver here?
You got McLaurin, but you don't have much else. And when McLaurin gets hurt, they like their offense just sputters. And
How
just you need to
long?
give Daniel some other
Yeah.
talent. Because Debo's not Debo anymore.
It didn't look great. He had flashes last year. Like if you had him for the right game, you had a good fantasy day, but there was only a few of them.
Well, here's the off the wall one. What about Sadiq?
Yeah, that's super early, but with what's been happening with tight ends lately, who knows, right? Like you look at the tight ends over the last few years, people draft them where we might not have thought. Tight ends become like the new slot wide receiver.
Right.
So that's not so far off the wall, but oh man. I think because of my initial thought, I think we should put Caleb Downs there.
Going against you and AI, we're gonna go Downs.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I was back and forth with Downs here anyway.
I really want Downs to fall to 10 so the Giants can get Styles and Downs.
Well, that's I'm not gonna spoil alert it though, but that's where I have Downs in my draft right now is going to the Giants. But now he's gone. He's off the board. All right, Saints. Saints. We got Ruben Bain Jr. from AI,
That's who I have.
and that's who I have. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, that's the Saints need defense.
Well, either that or one of the receivers. But
Yeah, they don't really have anybody to throw him the ball.
Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, I mean, I like the reason I like Bain though for this pick is you don't know his ceiling either. You also you know he's good and it's a safe pick, but he could have a higher ceiling than people are giving him credit for, in my
Right.
opinion. If you watch him play, that guy's his motor is different, and that does good things. That translates well to the NFL. All right, we're all agreement on Bain here.
Yep.
Going to the Saints, and then we got Kansas City and AI. Here you go, Jordan Tyson.
Ooh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, why would Kansas City draft Jordan Tyson here?
Well, they do need a receiver, but I don't want them to get him.
Because he's big. He's a big kid. Whoa. The mock draft simulator in ESPN has Monroe Freeling.
Oh, tackle. Well, that was the thing is I have Manoa here,
Right.
but like I said, it's I think it's going to be a tackle. I just don't, you don't know which one if they like Freeling better
Right.
or Moa better.
I mean, that's tough. I mean, I could see Tyson here just because of the style of receiver is, the body style of receiver he is.
Right.
And that's good for what Kansas City does and needs. And the way they just, they run their offense, it's really helpful for Mahomes to have a bigger target.
Well, I was thinking they were going to get either Concepcion or Boston at their second first round pick. That's why I didn't want to go receiver
Right.
early.
They might go at that later. Yeah.
So what did you have?
I mean, we're basically doing the same draft at this point. Yeah, because I
Okay.
got Mauigoe here.
This is why we need Wes.
I know you need a third. I mean, but the problem is, and we talked about the top 10, is there's so much talent in the top here that some of these guys may switch around a little bit, but I can't see too many guys going ahead of them.
Right.
It's like now we're number 10 to the Giants, and in our draft, Downs is gone, so it's probably Delane. But
Well,
in
I
my
have
draft, I have Downs there.
right. I had Lemon.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so why Lemon here to the Giants?
I think he Lemon or Tyson. I guess it's just whoever you feel. That way, because besides neighbors, what do they got for
Yeah.
receivers? So I was thinking they were going to take a receiver there with that second one, unless they could get Styles and Downs.
Yeah, because Downs is gone now, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting because you do need somebody else to go with neighbors. Lemon might be the pick there.
Well, because I
Would
like Lemon because he reminds me of another USC receiver, and that's St. Brown.
right. He's going to be an inside route runner, but always a deep threat
Right.
and really fast. Man, that's because now that Downs is gone, that changes obviously my picks here. Well, let me see how that would affect this. So you're thinking, are we thinking Tyson or Lemon?
Hmm. I don't know. I would go Lemon just because I think he could do the underneath more
All
and
right, yeah.
complement neighbors better.
So I can agree. I'm agreeing with that. So we got Kai Lemon at 10 to the Giants. Oof. I think the Dolphins, like, I feel like you're coming in like after the show. They're still good players and all, but man, just it feels like there's something about this 11th pick that you just feel like you got left out in the cold a little bit.
Right. But that's where, I mean, it's kind of like they anything for the Dolphins, right?
Just anything, right?
So that's why I went best player available and did Delane.
Yeah. And with Delane still available, you have to take him if you're
Yeah.
the Dolphins. Because AI's got Spencer Fano here. So I actually think that there's a chance that they could take Jordan Tyson here.
Yeah. I mean, they need anything.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter, right? We're just throwing out names, but you look at, obviously what looked like was going to be an amazing or a good, at least, receiver crew just has completely fallen apart.
Well, they traded Waddle, Hill's
Right.
gone. They have nothing.
They have nothing, right? So this might be a time where you say, okay, here's a big kid, might be a good base for our new wide receiver crew. So what do you think on that one?
I could see it. It just destroys my mock completely.
But, I mean, if we and so you have oh yeah. I mean, where we're at, you have to take the lane. All right. So we got Delane going to Miami.
I mean, Miami could take in whoever that's probably whoever's number one on their board at the moment, no matter
Yeah,
what
and
position.
it's one of those things I think because he may not be expected to be there or you don't know who everybody's looking at, I'm guessing he's high on your board for talent.
Right.
All right. Dallas. Dallas, Dallas. AI has Jermon McCoy.
That's who I have.
That's who I have. That's why I laughed a little bit because you see, like, oh, okay, well,
Well, yeah, because Dallas misses out on Delane, so they go with McCoy.
right, which isn't a big drop, right?
No. Because I could see edge rusher, but I think maybe, yeah, I don't. That's why I think they might trade up, knowing Jerry. Jerry's going to want to make a splash.
So maybe we might have Arizona drafting here and them drafting at three.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. So you heard it here first. Arizona going to 12, Dallas going to three. But yeah, I mean, as stands, I think that's where they go with McCoy. All right, Rams. Let's try to get through like 15 here.
Yeah,
So,
we got Tyson going there.
well, the AI's got Lemon, just because remember they had Tyson earlier,
Yeah.
which makes sense. I actually have Lemon here.
Oh, there we go.
So it's just a wide receiver thing, right? I think the only question mark is, how badly do they really need wide receiver? Is there anything else they could take here to benefit their team?
Well, the rumor today was, and I think they'd have to trade back or trade back into the first round, is they want Simpson.
Oh, interesting. Back up, get them prepared.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I would not take Simpson at 13.
No, no. So that might be draft capital for them, though.
Yeah.
How far do they have to trade back to make sure they get them?
Oh, gosh, I don't even, it's hard. I don't even know. I just don't see why, like, the Jets or the Cardinals would want him because they're looking at next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to want to trade back into the first round, give up draft capital to take Simpson.
So they gotta look in the second round.
Yeah.
I don't know. They probably just stay still, right? And just solidify. But man, they got some good play from their other receivers though, too.
Yeah, Devontae's getting older though.
Right.
Who knows what's going on with Puka?
This is again probably falls into one of those talent what's available.
Yeah.
And you got to think whether it's Tyson or Lemon and you're mildly interested in a wide receiver, there are some ones you could go back to and hope that they're as good as these guys, but and Concepcion maybe the only Amari Cooper Jr. is pretty good, but there's just I think these three to me are still the top three. So if you're
Right.
gonna do it, you might as well get one of them. All right, so what are we going with here?
Well, I got Tyson just because we took Lemon earlier, unless you want to switch Lemon and Tyson.
Right. So they got to take Tyson.
Yeah.
All right. So Tyson to the Rams. All right, Ravens. I mean,
It's
this
the
is
most Raven-y pick of the Ravens. And it's got to be, what does AI got?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's get the AI real quick. AI has offensive lineman.
Was it Ione?
Yeah, they got Ione from Penn State.
Yeah.
Um, and so do I. I mean, they might take Spencer Fano.
I just feel like with losing Linderbaum and their guards are horrible, they need some inside.
Yeah. Yeah, there is probably not much other choice, right?
Well,
Oh,
the other one was Sadiq.
right, right, right. Did they what's going on with their other tight end? Not Andrews,
Lively is on the Giants.
so Lively's gone.
Lively's gone, and then Kohler's gone. So they
Right.
only have Andrews,
Ooh,
likely, not Lively.
right. Yeah, Isaiah Likely. Um, but you can't not take a line here though.
No. Because even like we had a comment about it in one of our podcasts about the guys, one of the Ravens fans was like, Ravens have the worst offensive line.
Yeah.
So, and they lost Linderbaum. So you need to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're good here. Safe to say it's Ione. Well, that leaves Tampa here at number 15. And oh, yeah, same thing. So this is where I got Sadiq, and so does AI,
And so do I.
and so do you. But he has to go there, right?
Well, they lost Evans. They need weapons. I mean,
They have Buck Irving, and now they're gonna have Sadiq,
yeah,
the Oregon connection. I don't know, but you're right. I mean, that's you need a weapon. It could be no, it couldn't even be. You need the tight end.
right. I mean, I guess you could get another Oregon connection and put Thienem in there.
Yeah. I mean, I still think you're right though when you talk about what they've lost and what they need to help their offense out because you think they're pretty good at most positions, but they need someone that they can move around the field, right? They need a tight end that can play wide out, right, and get one on one. I don't know. I think I got to stay with Sadiq here,
Yeah.
and then let's do the next Jets pick here. Um, so there, here you go, Jets again. See what good old AI's got Omar Cooper Jr. going here. What do you got on this one?
Um, I had, but I could see I'm more like thinking Cooper Jr., but I had Fano going here.
That's
But
yeah,
I could see Cooper Jr. Concepcion going there though.
right. They need somebody to pair with
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, right? So I mean, I originally had Jordan Tyson going here,
Oh, okay.
but my list is all screwed up because we changed quite a few players here. But I like Fano falling here actually. I think if you're in New York and you come up with this pick and Fano's available, but
Yeah,
you
because
you
they got
really,
three tackles going in the next four picks.
man, that's yeah, there's a lot. And Freeling is he's basically just as good, but it's just I think he's going to go right after him.
Yeah, that's what I got. I have,
Right.
then Freeling, then the Vikings taking Thiemann.
Yep.
Then the Panthers taking Lomu.
I have the safety from Toledo there,
Oh,
McNeil
okay.
Warren.
I want him to fall to the second round for the Raiders. Uh,
I think Carolina needs the defense, and I think he's a sleeper.
Bryce Young needs offensive line.
He does need offensive line too, but I think they're building something with defense that they want to continue. But a
Yeah,
line
it's
would be a
easy
good
where you
pick.
get into these. So Cowboys, I got a pass rusher. I got Folk
Me
just
too.
because, but it could be Messidor, one of them. Um,
Yeah, I like Falk there.
then for like the Steelers, I would say Concepcion.
Yeah.
The Eagles, well, if we're taking
Wait,
the
the
safety at
Chargers.
19, it's either Lomu, but I had Proctor there because Lane Johnson won't be there, much longer, and Proctor can have a year to sit and then come in.
Yeah, I think they take the kid from Arizona State,
Oh,
the
okay.
Eagles.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know why everybody's names are so hard to pronounce these days.
I have him going to the Niners, and the same thing though, where he's going to take over for Trent Williams.
Right. But you had Lomu here for the Eagles?
Well, I had Proctor
Oh, you had Proctor. Okay, because I had
because I had
Lomu.
Lomu going to the Panthers.
So we have those switched up.
Yeah.
And I have defense going to the Panthers. So we're pretty close there on the end of the first round.
Right. Yeah, because I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven offensive tackles going in the first round.
Yeah, it gets this. Yeah, I mean, on the late part of the round, you're right. Just in the back half, you got five of them.
Yeah.
So who do you have the Bears taking?
I have the Bears taking Caden McDonald.
I mean, I wouldn't be super unhappy about that, but I don't know. I think they're going to go with Woods from Clemson.
Oh, okay. I had Woods going to the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I had them taking Messidor, Miami.
Oh. I had Messidor falling all the way to the Bills
Wow,
just because his age.
right. But he's still really good.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So let's kind of wrap up that there and just talk the first round for a second. I mean, obviously we had a lot of the same stuff,
So it's going to be completely wrong.
so it's going to be the complete opposite. It just kind of feels a little bit predictable. Like you said, it might come down to which tackle caught this front office's eye, but they kind of all feel like they have needs that need to get filled, and it doesn't seem like a complicated draft.
Right. I mean, there's some like the Giants. What are they going to get? They got those two picks. Who did they
Yeah.
rate higher? Um, the Chiefs, because they got the two picks, but that nine, are they going to be looking at corner? Are they going to looking at tackle? Are they going to be looking at receiver?
Yeah, man, that's that the Kansas City pick will be interesting what they do. They're probably one of the most open in my mind of you don't know.
Right. Because like the outside, you're thinking, oh, it's corner. It has to be corner. They
Right.
lost both starting corners. But that's not the way Spags works.
No, that's not the way Kansas City works in general. Like he just fits right in because none of them work that way.
Yeah. He's like, I could figure it out. I don't need a first top nine pick to be a corner.
No. Well, and he just wants, yeah, whatever fits into whatever scheme that they're coming up with in their mystery lab.
But I could see Delane or McCoy going there.
Well, I think there's a good chance. if you're right and the Commanders take downs, then I think the Chiefs might take the lane.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For some reason, I think the Commanders are going to take the lane. But that's just. But then as you were talking about it, why would you not take downs if you're the Commanders?
Right.
But there we go. I mean, we're pretty spot on in what we predicted there. And so when we do our follow up, keep your mocks, and we'll compare our mock to the real draft. How you and I did talking it through, but also how we did on our own mocks comparatively
Right.
to what played out.
I got those screenshotted and I wrote down all our picks.
Nice. That'll be fun little exercise to see how we did on that. So as we wrap up sports here, we're not a long segment on NBA because playoffs just started. How confident are you in our picks? Because I think we're also the same on this. We both had New York and OKC. Obviously, 1, 2 games in, you can't get a lot from it, but
Yeah. I mean, OKC looks like they're going to be there. We don't know what's going on with with Wimby. He might miss another game. The Knicks choked big time,
oh yeah, it was bad.
but that's also like we know CJ McCollum's not going to have that again. We know CJ McCollum. We know
Right,
he's
right.
not going to do what he did again.
Yeah, and they got lucky, and then um, but they didn't play great. I think like you said, you called it a choke, but the Knicks kind of just got out of sorts there at the end, and it just became like Jalen Brunson by himself for a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's just not a good way to play at all, in any basketball. But it wasn't great because the CJ got hot, hit some shots that man, he's a great shooter, but those were tough shots.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He can't replicate that again.
Yeah, the Wemby injury hurts because that allowed Portland to steal a game, and you never want to go on that split, right?
All right.
So the first round, are they doing? They're still doing the 2-2-1-1-1, or are they doing 2-3-2?
Um,
Or is that still just the finals thing? They just kept that with the finals.
Let me look here.
They're always changing these. Game three.
So like
So
two, what is it? 2-2-1-1-1.
okay, so still doing the same way. So I guess the big question is like you've got a lot of splits.
I
T
just
Wolves
think
get a
this is why I
split.
hate the NBA. Okay, this is the first round, right?
Yeah,
If the Knicks Hawks go to a game seven, it's on May 2nd.
right. No, it's going to be a long playoffs. So we're going to have a lot to follow up on. So that's why it's early, so we don't need to talk a lot about it. The only thing that I wanted to bring up was the splits, right? You had 5 of the 8 games, or the 8, different seed brackets that split in those first 2 games.
Right.
And if you want to win a series and you don't have home court advantage, that's your goal, right? You got to go in and get that split in the first two
Right.
games. And looking at that, I mean, Orlando, the Magic did horrible today after getting their split. But Nuggets, Timberwolves, West might have been onto something here. They're not that far apart. And for the T Wolves to get the split early, that's helpful for them.
Yeah.
And then the Rockets, like, what are they doing?
Dude.
Thunder looks great. Cleveland looks real strong. But I don't think a lot of surprises. I still think even the splits, you're going to see like the Celtics, the Knicks, the Pistons, the Spurs, like all of those, I think will come back and easily win. I think right now, the only one I look at might be the Nuggets and T Wolves,
Yeah. We'll
but
see
it's
though.
early.
Like the Lakers Rockets. So the Lakers won both their games at home, which they're supposed to do. Now the Rockets go home. They win both their games. It's both. You just have to win one on the road, kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's their goal. You knock that out early, you got a chance. Just some of these teams I'm not sure about. The 76ers just been super inconsistent. I think the Knicks, they're letting the Hawks hang around more than they should be. They're gonna have to turn the gas on, at some point.
Yeah.
And the Pistons are just better than the Magic. I don't even know what happened to them game one. And of course, Blazers only split because Wemby goes out with a concussion.
Right.
So early start to the playoffs. Everything looks pretty normal, but we might got to give Wes some props here because I think he might be the closest with that. Who might surprise you pick. So we'll see what happens at T Wolves. What are they playing tomorrow? So that'll be game three.
No one cares about basketball tomorrow, Steve.
No, it'll be a lot of draft and a lot of draft coverage. Thing about the draft though is once the first round's over, people kind of lose their steam.
Oh, that's the best part. The other rounds are the best part, Steve. Come on.
Well, I'm talking about like, where you're going to see it and all the talk about it. And like, we're going to be looking at all of our teams' late round picks and evaluating them and
Yep.
doing all that stuff. But most, a lot of people are just going to see, oh, who'd my team get? Great,
Yeah.
or who's that first rounder? Who's that top 10? All right. Well, we'll wrap that there with sports. So don't forget to tune in next week. We'll talk about how we did with our draft, go back through our mocks, see how we did. And then we'll be a little farther in the playoffs, talk about that. And then probably have a little bit of sprinkling in the baseball too here for you guys. So we're not, I mean, we're NFL, right? This is HSC Podcast, NFL channel, but we're sprinkling in the other sports for you. We're getting you some more.
Diversifying.
Diversify. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.